Hey there folks, my name is Womp the Cat. I am one of the developers of BattleGrid, and today I'm going to be giving you a little walkthrough on BattleGrid. Basically, this is going to be a meta progression upgradeless run, so there's going to be no meta progression whatsoever. None of the corporate ladder stuff, which is this, that makes the game harder. We're not going to be playing with any of that, and none of the grid upgrades, which effectively give you an edge in your runs, so we're not going to be doing that either. This is going to basically be like a clean run for a new player experience, if you will, and just walk you through how to beat it like that, basically, because it is balanced in such a way that you can beat it without needing any of the meta progression. So the first thing you're going to notice is that you have some mechs over here that you can use. You can choose and you place them on the board, and then they do the running around, and then these are the weapons. You equip the weapons on them. You also get to choose how you want to equip them. You'll see this little icon up here. This is really what's important about this game and where a lot of your power comes from. These are the synergies, and to get synergies you need two unique of a synergy, two unique mechs of a synergy to make a synergy, or two unique weapons of a synergy to make a synergy. Some of them have a requirement of 3 as well, but that's sort of the general rule. You want to build up your synergies as much as you can, and then you want to augment the synergies with perks, which you get from leveling up. You need 5 levels to gain a perk, and you also get them when you kill bosses. So there are two ways to get your perks. And they, as I say, augment your build and make them take them over the tipping point. But the core thing is the synergies. Even though there's there's tiers to units that are certainly stronger than the tiers beneath them, synergies is what will make your power and give you that sort of power fantasy thing that we love about these survivor type games. So we're going to just start with our synthetic soldier here. And we're going to put an auto pistol, little auto pistol machine gun thing on him. This has self-intelligent weaponry, which would normally call down a lightning strike on a random enemy when it deals damage, or has a chance to anyway. The gun itself has that built in, like a base amount, so it's quite unique in that way. None of the other weapons do that. So it's pretty useful. And yeah, we're going to start with that. I've also picked up the Basher just because I would like to hopefully build some Kaizen machines, because they can work well with hybrid builds, which is what I'm hoping to do here. Let's go for like a nice hybrid build, where you use both guns and Synthetech, which are sort of the two core weapon types. You can do sort of purist builds where you go Synthetech or guns. And then obviously there's lots of variations within that, but you can also do hybrid builds where you have a collection of both. And the lightning build is certainly a very strong version of that. So, as you see, we kill enemies, we pick up XP, it's a space ready to level up, so I can hit spacebar and do a level up, which will give me some money. A bit of grid capacity XP, and will restock my shop for me. Now I can put a second unit on. I'm going to throw the Basher on that we picked up earlier, and I'm going to pick up this XR10 SMG for the time being. So 2 little machine guns basically. We still have no synergies currently at the moment, but that's okay. We will get there eventually. For the time being, we just want to collect that XP. Try and get up to level 5 as soon as possible, or like over here, so that we can get our first perk. I like to use the exploding guys to sort of deal damage to the other enemies. I think it's pretty fun. And yeah, just pick up this XP, dash around. Dash with the shift button, the shift key, left shift, or you can also use your middle mouse click to dash. That's how you do it with mouse and keyboard. I can't remember what the controller is, what the we're still making our way up in the levels. I'm in a level up now. Basically, because we've held some levels before leveling up, we now get free shop rerolls. It just accounts for how many times you would have seen a shop restock if you had leveled up every time you got a level up available to you. I think I'm definitely going to pick up a Hungry Acolyte. Would love to do a bit of a Life Stealer run. And we're going to pick up this Warp Ring, which will close out our synergy for self-intelligent weaponry. Or not close it out, but at least take us up to the level 1 version of it. Now all weapons will have the 7.5% chance to call down lightning, and that's going to be quite strong, as you can imagine, because it's based on every instance of damage. So every single bullet has a 7.5% chance to call down lightning, as does like Synthetech deals kind of instances of damage. So if you look here, number of instances 25, so there's 25 chances that it can deal a 7.5%, that it gets 75. There are 25 chances that the 7.5% chance to call down lightning is applied. So that's sort of how that works on Synthex. It's very strong. It's a very strong synergy, and there's some really great perks for it as well. If we can get those, hopefully we can get those. We'll see. All right, do a little roll. Get the Kaizen Killer. Definitely going to pick him up so we can close out the synergy. Might even just replace this guy for the time being. Boom. So that we get 2 synergies online. I think that's going to be nice. And I'm going to roll and upgrade that. Okay, cool. And we get back into it. There we go. That's the Synthetech being cast there, doing its magic. Space magic. Kill these guys. Die. Alrighty, and over here we've got a nest. You can see this little clump of red stink. And in it this like funny pulsing tree. If we go near it, it'll pop. Boom. It doesn't hurt us when it pops, but a whole heap of enemies. Sometimes it's a heap of enemies, sometimes it's a little mini boss, or a big boss in fact. Basically a little encounter spawns, and if you kill the enemies that pop from it, as we're doing now, so whittling them down, there we go, you get a little drop, and that basically is really, I'm going to pick it up now and show you how it works, is very useful to upgrading your team. So the boss reward you get is 5 ZAR for killing the things in the nest, and there are ways to increase that amount as well. We haven't gotten that at the moment, but once you pick this thing up, you get this little screen here, and as you can see, we've got some mechs that we already have on the board, a weapon that we've also already got on the board, and then mechs and weapons we've never seen before, but that are part of the synergies we have. So we can complete synergies or get chances to upgrade our mechs to the next level by popping nests and collecting the little reward that's inside. So basically, I think I'm going to go for the Soul Eater because I would like to close out my Life Stealer synergy. So we're going to pick him up. But that's what makes these things really useful. It basically cuts out the rolling of random things and upgrades stuff that is relevant to your team currently as it is. So it's a very strong way to keep your team growth going upward. Because as I said before, synergies, that's where the core of the power comes from in this game. Alrighty, now I could potentially put him on, like you could actually punch money into the grid cap upgrade and then throw the Soul Eater on. I don't think it's going to be worth it just yet. We've got level ups we can always throw down. First though, before I level up, I just want to show you this. So this is a mercenary, this guy down here. They only spawn in the world randomly. There is a mercenary finder in the meta progression upgrades that will help you track them down. They're very useful for a number of reasons. One, it's effectively a free mech, so you can always sell it for more money if you need more money. And two, they generally have a special that will buff the whole team. Now, the thing about mercenaries is that they're the only negative synergy in the game. You could really only want one of them on the board, or you start to lose money. You'll have to pay per round a certain amount of money for having a mercenary on the board. So for having more than one on the board. So you kind of want to keep how many of them you have to like a minimum, unless you're doing like some sort of giga money build, and there are ways to play the game like that, where you're going like these money perks that'll increase your interest rate. I may even take this now, who knows, and you get a whole heap of money, and then it doesn't really matter, and you're trying to spend money as well, so you can go the mercenaries to sort of help you do that. What are we gonna go for here? I didn't get any good lightning perks. It's such a pity. All right, we're gonna go with the pension fund. Why not? We're gonna go with this money thing. Basically, we're gonna lose our base pay. Pretty much, we'll have one base pay, but our interest will be increased by 100%. So this will go up to 8 interest. 9 interest, in fact, per round, which is pretty tasty. I don't even have to buy anyone at the moment because I've got him to put on. Maybe I'll pick up this. It would be nice to get crits. Let's do a little roll. Well, that's just a synergy right there. Do we want to do it though? Meh. Okay, negative matter zone's nice. Okay, then we're going to put the negative matter zone on Soul Eater. Okay, probably not, actually, not a great person to put that on. Instead, we'll put it on the Kaizen Killer, and he can get that. Because of his special, that's why I didn't. He gains +1 piercing on equipped guns, so we wanted to give him a gun instead of giving him a synth-tech weapon, and then his special is doing nothing. And with that, you can kind of see that there's a lot of min-maxing that you can do to get the strongest team possible, and you're going to need to do it if you're going to be playing lots of lots of ladder level runs. This is called a grid support, so it's a kind of unique weapon system. Basically, they are weapons that give a pretty cool bonus to the whole team, kind of similar to mercenaries in that regard. But the thing is that they don't fire any weapons. So like the mech holding this won't be able to deal any damage themselves. So it's specifically for buffing up the rest of the team. And the other thing about them is that if you have 2 of these, if you have the synergy, you gain an extra grid capacity level. So you can have like more mechs than you would normally be able to with the grid support. So if you want to do like big, lots of mech builds, you want to be going grid support. It's not really what we're doing today, so I'm not going to pick this up. I don't necessarily need this. I guess it would be okay with, like, we got a lot of machine gun stuffs. Having more clip size would probably be beneficial, but I don't think it's that necessary. Certainly not to lose the DPS of one of my other guys, at least not for the time being. So we're going to leave this alone. Okay, a little roll. We can upgrade him. That's nice. And we can upgrade him, and okay, and another one for our synergy, to work towards our synergy. Alrighty. And yeah, I'm gonna I think I'm gonna not do too much there. I could maybe throw some more upgrades, like more grid cap at us, so that we could get another boy on the board, but I don't think I'm gonna do that, just because if I go too low on my money, I won't have enough, like my interest rate is going to be terrible, and I'm not going to be making money from the base pay anymore, so we would rather just hang tight, let the level ups do their thing. We're not in any kind of big rush to get the mechs on the board, so at the moment we're handling things pretty well. It would be nice to get another perk though. We've just got to farm up the XP for that. Kill as many things as possible. The other thing about Nest is that it's the only way in the game to get a big XP suck that will suck all the XP up on the planet to you. And that's exactly what it does. So if you pop a Nest, you suck up all the XP that's available on the planet at that moment. So quite a strong way. If you're also in a pinch and you need to upgrade, if you pop a nest to just try and force the upgrade to happen, and then you can maybe like save yourself from some trouble that way. But yeah, for now we're we're doing okay. Just picking up our things, and we're going to fight the first bosses in 20 seconds. So we'll see them in a little bit. But basically, the first run on this planet is 2 bosses at once. One of them does like a charge. The other one has 2 ranged attacks that are like where they cast like a ring of spikes around you, or a line of spikes. Here we go. And the other thing is that he will reduce the brightness of the world. Look, if we move towards it, everything starts to go dark. So not something you really want to, fighting in the dark can be a little bit harrowing. So you want to try and just avoid being in the darkness as best as you can. Use the shift to dodge out of the way of the map gray, because that's harrowing. And we're going to do a quick level up. Obviously the brightness when you level up comes back, because you need to be able to see what you're doing. Alrighty, this is the consumables section. So there are 2 kinds of consumables: team buffs, which will buff the whole team, give everybody invulnerability, or give everybody a little heal, or give everybody quad damage, and then targeted synth tech, which is usually offensive. There's one that will give you a team heal over time in a space, but otherwise you would cast this with your mouse and it deals a whole heap of damage. This does like a spinning beam. There's another one that does a black hole that like sucks everything towards it. So we're going to pick this up, and I'm going to actually use it almost right away, because I would like to show you how it works. And it's great to use them on bosses. I would suggest saving your ordnance for like boss fights. You can always use them as a get out of jail free card, but basically you really want to try and keep them reserved for when you're having to deal with the bosses. Now we got our Ravager online, and he buffs slows. I don't know if this has any slows on it, but it doesn't matter. We're going to give it to him anyway. Try and get some crits going. It would be nice to see more crits with Charles. No. Alright, well, we get the plasma charge, and we're going to swap that out instead. More lightning, baby. That's what we're going for now. Alright, back to the darkness, dodge out the way, and now I'm going to cast the ordnance. You can see it on my cursor there. You click once to activate it, and then you click again to cast it. With a big swipe like that, and now we're going to just run at this guy. I always find it's better to try and take these 2 bosses out alone, so you kind of want to separate them. You don't want to be being charged in the ring. It makes things more difficult. Oh no. I accidentally I did my shift too soon, my little boost too soon. And just want to bring this 5 angle down, please. And we can use the exploders. No, they've already popped. Get him, boys, get him. Okay, down he goes. He always drops the perk, so if you can get him down first, it's often great, because then you'll guarantee yourself a nice perk. I mean, he always drops the perk anyway, but you'll just get it sooner, which can help you deal with this one. It doesn't matter. He drops a big chunk of XP. Now we do have some lightning we can go for, so we're going to pick this up. Static favor, plus 25 increased chance to call down lightning on a random enemy. We've already got plus 15% chance, so that 15% chance is increased by 25%. That's pretty good. Yeah, so we're going to pick that up. And now we'll be able to deal a lot more lightning damage. We'll have it proc more frequently than it has been. And that's pretty tasty. Soon we'll also be able to get another perk, which who knows what we're going to get. Hopefully more lightning, maybe the other side of the lightning tree, or the other lightning tree perk setup, which basically allows you to have lightning storms, these big AoE storms, instead of just a singular bolt, which is very strong, and they can also be bolted into lightning. They eventually get these little gravity wells underneath them that sucks enemies into the storms. So quite a cool and strong way to play the game. Lightning 3. Avoid the damage. Alright, and put this down. We get our XP, level up, as you can see, like the level up, like if you hold your upgrades, it gets accounted for both in your money that you would make, as well as in the roll, like the free rerolls. You get free rerolls for every time you would have seen the shop. Ah, yes, okay, another one for the same tree. That's pretty good. 25% chance for lightning to strike a second time, so double strike. You know, that's tasty. More lightning, more better. And as for a team buff, I think I'm gonna go with this again. I know we've just been picking that up a whole heap, but whatever. It's very useful, especially in the earlier part of the game where enemies are weaker, or at least have less health. Okay, if I pick this up, we can start again moving towards crits, which I would like to do. I just need like a third weapon. There we go, Cold Moon Hologram. Okay. Alrighty, so XR10 is no longer really relevant for us. We're going to swap you out there. And we can put Roland on, I guess. It's going to be fine for now. Give him the fission revolver, just because then he's going to give people using guns piercing. I'll probably sell him off at some point, because we don't really have anything. Like, I want to try and complete synergies and stuff and focus on that. And also, this is not really useful for, like, doing hybrid builds, but it will be helpful to some extent for the time being. Alright, just doing what upgrading we can. Using the free rolls we got from holding our level upgrades. Okay. Get him down, get him down. I don't know why it's so satisfying to drop these big brown, like blocks of the big brown beetles. It's the death animation or something. But it's very satisfying to do. Okay, you wanna, the slimes, I like to run towards them just because you don't want to like end up in a very tight clot. They sort of, they slide in, you know, they swirl in around you, and when they die, they leave this green fog that can damage you over time, so you don't want to stand in it. It doesn't do a whole heap of damage, but it is kind of annoying space denial shenanigans. Alrighty, here we go for another nest. I think it might be worthwhile. As I said earlier, the nests can be a great way to spike from now on. Oh, look at that, another mercenary. You're getting lucky with two in such close proximity. Now we're going to have to pick them both up. Screw the nests. The nests, yeah, they can be a great way to like build up your team. And also weaken, if you're playing extinction events, can weaken the extinction boss. Can be very useful if you know that. The gimmick by that with the extinction boss is that people will basically pop any remaining nests on the board to call in for backup. True extinction. Right out on more planets. Every nest on the planet gets killed. Alrighty. Lots of things spawning in. Maybe we use a little level up here. Feeling like my DPS could do with a lift. What did we get? A Killdozer. I'm gonna sell him. And an Omnibot. Okay, I'm gonna replace take the Roland off. Sell him. And instead put the Omnibot on. He is a tier 5 mercenary, so very strong. Gives the whole grid a move speed bonus, and then also gives us +1 to the grid cap. At least at level 1. So very strong unit. We can now put another guy on. Let's roll and see if we can find something tasty to put on. Nothing that's really going to close out synergies. I guess we could start building like maybe another synergy. Okay, Life Drinker. There we go, Life Stealer synergy. We could always build more synergies, but for the time being, this is good. And then I want to get the crits going, so we're going to give him that instead of the Eternity Machine Gun. Maybe I'll swap that there. So yeah, basically you can min-max the whole thing Over here is your DPS meter. This constantly changes based on who's putting out the most damage. And it can be like really fun to try and see how far you can take it. You can take this up into the millions, I believe. If you know what you're doing and you build it correctly. We're not doing anything quite like that at the moment. Alright, next boss, the slime boss. So he does a big charge. There it is, another charge. And once he dies, we'll be able to pick up his perk, but he's going to also split into smaller slimes to charge, and then just regular slimes to sort of walk towards you and then drop a big gas cloud. Alrighty. Maybe I'll use my ordnance to speed up the process a little bit. Jump out of the way. There we go, half health now. Alrighty, nearly down, nearly down. We're getting it, we're getting it. Slow him down, trap him, trap him. Hold moon hologram. Kill this thing with every little chance we get. Okay, done. There we go. Alright, and you can see the little perk in between. Let's let them dodge. We go rush it. Ooh, okay, so we have some cool choices here. We can go for Electromancy, which will give us 150% increased lightning damage, and if we keep going down this, we can get the lightning storm instead of just the single zaps of lightning. Or we can go for the volatile bolt. I think I'm gonna go for the volatile bolt for now. Basically, after every 10 lightning strikes, a bolt of energy gets shot out from the center of the grid, and you'll see it. It's quite a cool little mechanic. And then you also get lightning execution at the end, which will basically deal with big enemies that are below 20% health get dealt like an insane amount of damage. Very good against bosses that hurt. Alrighty. That looks so cool. Effects over each other like that. Alrighty, we're gonna snap these guys down. Come on, come on. Use the bolts, use the bolts. Oh, take some damage, take some damage. It's okay, if you lose a mech, you'll be able to pick him back up. The same way you salvage mercenaries, your mechs will be on the floor, and you can like run on over to him and hold on to the cannon for a little bit, and then he will spawn on your bench, ready to be put back into action in the next upgrade. Alright, we've actually got enough to get a perk, so we'll level up. And now we will certainly go overcharge to make lightning even more horrendous for the enemy. Horrendous for the enemy, so really strong for us. And here we've got a variety of things. I think I'm going to go with Axle Grease, just a fun speed boost. For 10 seconds you can really dash around everywhere. And do we have... So let's pick him up because we do have the 2 now. That's a synergy effectively. And we've got a lot of money, so I'm going to put at least one of them on. Now we can afford to put on 2. And now we're just going to roll a little bit, see if we can find another cool weapon. The Nagamaki, one of the strongest guns in the game, hands down. There's certain ways you can build it where it can just deal just an insane amount of damage. We're not actually doing a build that's really going to do that, but it's still going to be pretty strong with the 6-part lightning and subatomic precision, the crits. This is crits. Alright, we're going to put that on you. He's already got a base damage bonus, so yeah. Base DPS plus 173. It's pretty strong. As you can see here, this is the info panel, and this will show you like how much extra stuff all your synergies and bonuses and things are improving your damage on various weapons and things, and it's all laid out here. If it's green, it means, if it's like the word is in green, it means it doesn't have a native stat. So the stat is additional specifically from whatever you're doing on on in your build. So like the lifesteal is coming from the lifesteal that he had, the inherent lifesteal he has, and then obviously the lifesteal from the actual lifestealer synergy. It doesn't have a stun. He's gaining the stun. Where would he be gaining the stun from? Oh, from his unit special. So that's where the stun is coming from. So yeah, it's not native on the weapon, it's coming from the mech. Alright, dodging around, now we're really popping off. Eternity machine gun, Megamancy, bringing the pain. Some XP to collect. Easy enough. We go into nest. Let's see what's down this way. Nest is down this way. Is this where we came from? Did we already pop this nest? Looks like a cleared nest site to me. You can kind of always tell by the environmental things that are around it. Surrounding where the nest used to be. As I said, there is a meta progression where you can track nests and find your way toward them, but you can also do it without the meta progression by just following the book trails, like booking trails, slime trails, yeah, to wherever the next nest site is. So we think, geez, we've been getting so many mercenaries. Should have done like a mercenary money run or something, but maybe that's not complicated for what we're trying to do anyway, so it's better to just go for the Giga Lightning Bolt. Real strong, powerful lightning bolt. I'm loving the blue bolt that pops off every now and again. Sometimes it doesn't do anything really bad, but the rest of the time when it's kicking ass, it feels great. Okay, so you pop you. Another level in the bank. That's a burrower. I think they spawn every minute, or every 2 minutes. I can't remember if offhand. They have just really insane health, so you can't. They're very difficult to kill. You can kill them, but you need like some serious damage to do so. Okay, whoops, we popped the nest. There we go. And we're just going to kill the hybrid angler that's just hiding inside of it. Down we go. Give me the goods. What have you got for me? Well, this is a tier 5. I don't know why it doesn't show the golden border, but this is a tier 5 weapon, and it's also will be an incredible pickup for our team, because it's also it's also part of the crit synergy, and crits go 3, 4, 6. So the next one, so just this will increase the synergy to level 2. So we'll gain the 30% chance to deal critical damage if we just pop this on. I don't really have a weapon I can replace at the moment, so we're gonna have to put it on a new guy, but we'll do that in a bit. Well, right now, in fact, level up. Get ourselves a little perk. We're gonna go for this lifesteal perk. Increased base lifesteal sounds good to me. And we've hit the cap. So this is the max I can hold of money, so we might as well try and spend some. And we're going to do that by leveling up to 10, putting on the synthetic... Okay, he needs a gun, so we're going to give him the auto pistol SMG, put it at the back there, and then he can take the Doom Wheel, and you'll see the Doom Wheel in action in a moment. The ion charge launch is also fun, so I've picked it up. But who knows if we'll be able to put it to use. We have already maxed out the synergy, so it's not really going to add to the synergy itself. Just throwing down for the upgrades. Upgrades, yes please. Yes please. I can spend a bit of money, I got so much money, I'm going to spend some, just rolling for some upgrades. Alright. I don't know why I even did that. It's not even something we're using. Alright, anyway. Jumping back into it. There goes the Doom Wheel, very strong weapon. Tier 5, so one of the strongest weapons in the game, quite literally. And it's, you know, augmented by the critical hits that it's dealing. So as you can see, it's on the top of the leaderboard. The main event, Mother. See how fast we can get her down. And quickly, she has quite a few attacks, charges, the various patterns that she casts. If you see her go up, she's about to go into that cast animation. There we go. That's what it looks like. And now don't deal so much damage. I mean, look at the Doom Wheel, just like absolutely rolling over those ones. Alright, we lost the boat. Alright, that's the sound of the mech who's just died. And we're gonna have to pick him up. We're gonna have to salvage him. Try. Okay, we managed to get him up, even under the pressure of Mother. It's not too bad. Down you go, down you go. Now obviously we've lost part of our synergy that was giving us some damage, so with that loss, you know, you feel it in your DPS, everything feels like less worth. Alright, we're gonna actually just buy ourselves a breather. I don't know if you saw, but it went up to over 1k here on the DPS meter. Pretty nice, pretty strong. And now we need to put our boy who dropped, there he is, back on the board with his Nagamaki. Okay, that's also why we lifted him. As I said, Nagamaki is very strong. You can pick him up, pick you up. We could effectively get rid of the Omnibot, but he's giving us a little bit of a bonus to how many mechs we can have on the board. Instead, I'm just going to throw down some coin. There we go. Who do we want? Soul Carver. Let's get the Soul Carver on. This unit has increased base damage and base lifesteal, so real strong. Alright, there goes Mother, down she goes. In with these concubines. Go get the bow. The last sort of thing at the end will just be like a boss rush where all the sort of enemies we fought up until this point will spawn, except for Mother. And you'll fight them off sort of in the last heat, in the last like minute of the run. I have mentioned already the extinction boss, but we're not going to be able to play that. That only happens after you've actually beaten the run. There's like a button that says extinction event, which will allow you to go back into the game and then face the last boss. And there's like a ladder level requirement there, so we're not going to be doing that. Instead, now we can go for when enemies are below 20% health, they're struck by lightning, that is 500% increased damage, which will pretty much complete the perk tree. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to go for this because I want that storm. I like the way it looks. And I think it'll be cool if you get to see it. So we're going to go for the storm. Now you'll see, instead of just a single zap, we're getting these big storms that are dealing with lots of lightning damage. Benefiting from both sides of that, both of the lightning trees. So this is like basically how you would do like a giga lightning. Just carrying on clockwise, moving to maybe get another perk at the end of the game. 2 minutes to go. Things are looking good. The team is feeling strong. There we go. Alrighty, and we can actually go for that, or we can go for the 10% of Tsar balance as damage. So basically 10% of this will now be damage. I'm going to pick that up. Let's pick it up. Why not? And then I will pick this up because it's cool to show you I also have to show you the axle grease one, so we'll use those in a bit. But that's basically how you, the ordnance, team buff ordnances that will like give the team a little bit of an edge for a little brief period of time. I've hit the cap here. I cannot level up my grid anymore. The way to do this would be to start equipping grid support items onto mechs and building up the team with the grid support stuff. There's also one meta progression thing that will allow you to start with one extra mech on the board, and then it'll basically increase your cap by one. But other than that, you're going to need to level up your Omnibot and then get grid capacity from your mechs. From mechs holding grid support. Excuse me. Didn't finish my thought there. Alright, I think I'm going to just jump straight back in. I mean, things are already quite strong, and I can't really have any more new mechs on the board, so... Alrighty, and as you can see, the lightning storm just gets over the top. So much lightning being called down. Very, very strong way to play the game, the lightning bolt. And there are lots of strong builds, actually. Some other favorites are the exponential cliffs, exponential damage, exponential destruction, synth tech, defense response, which basically uses health regen, not lifesteal, health regen, to improve the damage that the mechs are dealing. And then you go with the airbots in the B, and they might put out a lot of damage that way. That's like the regen mechs, basically. Whole team regen. Okay. Easy enough. And now we could close this out, or we could go to 40% of lifesteal as crit chance, and we've got crits here, so we're going to do that. Just taking it to the next level. I mean, that extra lightning is good, but it's like really good against bosses, and most of the bosses we've kind of done just dealt with, so like high health enemies, and we're not really having a problem dealing with them at the moment because of the crits and stuff, so we're doing wheel dealing over 2,000 DPS, pretty ridiculous. Nice and strong. Just rolling over bugs, just rolling over them, steamrolling them. So yeah, I think one of the beautiful things about this game is the min-max potential, especially compared to like other Survivor games in the genre. They don't really have the same, like it's kind of more less min-max heavy and more straightforward, the upgrades. This does actually require a little bit of thought into how you want to build, and the decisions that you make are important to getting a strong team together. So, you know, it's got a little niche goodness there. This is kind of interesting. It'll basically nerf the base lifesteal, and if a mech's total lifesteal is negative, they'll start to take damage. So I think we actually have got enough lifesteal that we do, that you'll never go beneath, but this could basically kill a team. If you don't have enough lifesteal, you could kill your team with this perk. But obviously the increased damage is quite significant, so you'd be basically playing at double damage the whole time. We could go for this, which will just increase the storm instances and the duration, so basically just overall how much damage they're dealing and such. There's only 13 seconds left on the board, so it doesn't really matter which I go for here. It would matter if we were doing extinction again, but we're not. So I'm just going to pick this one up because it's cool and I seldom ever get to see it. And yeah, nobody's hurting themselves, and that's important to see. Anyway, last 4 seconds, I think we pretty much wiped everything on the planet. And there you go. Easy peasy. No meta progression, as I said earlier. 0 upgrades that we started with, you can easily clear your first run if you just know what to do in terms of building your mechs, your mech synergies. So the synergies are very important. As I said before, you build on your synergies and then you augment your synergies with your perks. And that's like how you want to play, that's how you want to gain your power. Like even the meta progression doesn't really give you much in the way of raw power. It's mostly stuff to augment, like and offset the RNG. So yeah, and then at the end here, this is your total damage, sort of DPS delta over the course of the thing, and you can kind of see 103,000 on the Doom Wheel, really just at the top. But overall, people were putting out the DPS, you know, putting out that damage, dealing the damage. And that's Battle Grid, so this is a cool little walkthrough I wanted to do for you folks. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you'd like to see maybe some ladder runs, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this walkthrough, give it a little like on the video and maybe subscribe to the channel, and I will hopefully see you soon. Cheers.